kind of dry off a little bit after that John Morant celebration in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I didn't get enough of this. I didn't get a lot of the splatter. Him and his teammates did. Obviously, what a special night for him. First, career triple-double. Obviously, the first of many. His teammates' reaction on the floor, in the locker room, the coaches. But we needed every point, every assist, every rebound. To see his growth. But that was a huge team win. Obviously big plays by him, especially in the fourth quarter. But it's a cool moment for him early in his career. I don't know if you want to fix that. Just hold it. Yeah.
What are your impressions of the new guys after the first practice?
Say again?
The impressions of the new guys after the first
Yeah,
practice.
I think they're fitting in great. As we've talked it'll take time to get the chemistry on the floor, but I think the chemistry off the court, guys are picking up the things. They've been doing the script session, the defensive breakdowns, picking stuff up. They're familiar with a lot of the, typical NBA schemes. Just learning the new terminology, but their teammates have been really helping them adjust. Our coaching staff's doing a great job of helping them do the film work and all that. But I know these guys are hopefully going to have fun, with this group, and I definitely know they're going to make an impact for us.
Yeah, talk about that building chemistry. I know y'all did some things here at the end of the practice today,
Sure.
A little fun stuff, but a little bit about ingratiating them into the chemistry that you want them to have here.
Yeah, obviously. At the end of the day, it's about how we play on the court, right? What's our chemistry on the floor, offensively, how are we, playing together, on the defensive end as well. But for us, it's more about the relationships off the court. And, that's the first thing we, hit these guys with, them being with us, in the DC game to see the joy, especially in that big comeback win, the celebration in the locker room before a teammate. That's what we're about. It's just a positive environment. Today we actually, we had a great film session, helping our, guys, not just the new guys, everyone, figure out how we can just keep getting better before this All-Star break. Came out, we played kickball. That's a way we all needed it. Guys have been grinding. We've had plenty of practice time, plenty of film sessions and all that, just a mental break, a little physical break for the guys. That's an avenue for our guys to continue to build the chemistry, the excitement that they're having there. Obviously, we were very fortunate enough to have, 4 patients and their families from St. Jude join us today. Recognize the impact that these guys can have in these kids' lives. I thought that just added another positive element just to everyone in the building. So for our new guys to see what we're about, just making a difference for each other. It's not about, each individual. It's about how we can do it for a team and, obviously make an impact in our community. That's huge for us, with the Grizzlies organization.
Coach, earlier this season, we were having talks with you about blowing leads or losing early leads, double-digit leads, things like that. And now your team's in a place where you're coming from behind on teams. How does that feel to see your team develop that much in this short time?
Yeah, it's been great growth. I've probably been pretty repetitive, but just thinking back to, how we've handled situations in November and December, and, there've been a moment here or there where we saw steady growth, but at the end of the day, it's about consistent growth. And I think January was a big step in the right direction for our guys, recognizing how to, build leads and keep leads, and, even in, a couple games in January, now here in February, having to come from behind. Just recognizing that it's a 48-minute game. You got to do it together. Been hitting the guys a lot about how our defense has had to improve, and we've been relying on our defense. Our offense has kind of hit a little stall pattern a little bit. We're still getting great looks. We're just not making them, and it's going to happen sometimes. But these guys embracing what does it take to win? What are our winning habits on the offensive end? What's it on the defensive end? Can we control that as much as possible, and then let the rest shake out? So these guys have been putting in the work. I know I say it all the time, but it's fun to watch the growth. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. If we can just lean on what we've experienced and go out there and give it our all and do it together, hopefully it's with a win. But if not, we'll just keep getting better from it.
Dylan, I'm sorry, Jay and Solo were obviously, very influential veterans in the locker room. Did you have any concerns about what their absence would mean for, the chemistry you've established? And so far, what are you expecting or looking for out of your new veterans?
Right. Obviously, Jay and Solo meant a lot to us. Obviously they did so much for us on the court, but like you said, what they were doing behind the closed doors, what they were doing in timeouts, helping our young guys grow, helping me grow as a young head coach. We obviously wish them all the best, but they helped lay, this foundation that we're continuing to build. No concerns, because had the utmost faith in the vets that remained. I think Jonas has been a big time leader for us. His work ethic, his professional habits, Kyle, Tyus, these guys have been leaning on those guys. Our young guys have been leaning on them all season long. Justice, as young as he is, he's played at a high level. I think his leadership's going to be big. Gorgie, a guy that we knew was going to have an impactful presence in the locker room, but also be a contributor, on the floor as well. And then I've been saying recently, like our young guys, the growth that they've shown, you know, they've been empowered by the vets around them, and I think that's, you know, giving them a window to grow and, you know, open up and be more vocal, you know, in timeouts, in tough moments. You know, you see Ja the other night, you see Jaron in a different moment. You know, it's on the floor, it's on the fly, it's in the film sessions, it's during the halftime. Sometimes I'm walking in and I'm hearing those guys talking before I have to deliver most likely the same exact message. So no concern, because you see the evolution of this group, the confidence that they have in each other, to lean on each other, and you know that you know, obviously Jay and Solo meant a lot to us, but we're very happy with the guys that we've added, and knowing that our young core has been, you know, trending in a great direction when it comes to leadership.
Pretty proud to have 3 young guys in the game Friday on the Carter All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's special for our organization, obviously for our team. It's a reflection on, you know, our team's success up to this point in the season. Obviously those guys' individual success, you know, super excited for, you know, JJ in his, you know, second year, and then, you know, John Brandon as rookies. They're going to represent our organization well, you know, so it's just a first step in their bright futures, you know, individually, but also just as the Memphis organization.
Speaking of that All-Star break, Coach, let me jump this.
Sorry.
Speaking of the All-Star break, really